Hi beauties, I'm just gonna do a quick get ready with me. So right now I'm just gonna put on some moisturizer. I already put my sunblock on. Even if it's not a sunny day on, you don't want to skip the step of your sunblock. This is freshly clean skin. Again, the only thing that I had pre-put on before I started recording was sunblock, and this right here is just a lotion, and it has vitamin C in it. So okay, so it's just moisturizing. Always make sure you get your chin. I'm going to put my veil on because I've been Christian veiling for probably the last month or so, consistently. So I'm gonna put that on later on, but right now I just have my head wrap on. I did my headscarf. This is just to lay down my hair so that when I put the veil on, it just is already laid down. And so I'm just gonna start with some Black Radiance, some of the translucent powder. It's like a yellowish tone. I'm just going to put that on the base. Just, even though I do not have oily skin, I like my makeup to be matte. And so with my makeup being matte, I like to just put the translucent on before, because it is the summertime. And so although again I do not have oily skin, I probably have normal to dry skin, but yeah. So I just do this because it doesn't dry my skin out, because I always moisturize prior to applying my makeup. So I just put it on lightly. You don't have to do too much. I put that on as my base. You see how it took away some of that sheen. My T-zone is what I would say would be considered looking like oily, I guess, but it's not. Again, I don't really have oily skin. So then just gonna start to shape my eyebrows with the spoolie. And I'm just gonna use a palette where I usually use the dark color. It's a darker color right here, this darker brown. I usually use that for my brown. This is just pencil. So I just lightly fill it in. And then you want to kind of do like hair-like strokes. My beauty routine is like an under 10 to 15 minutes. Because I am explaining each step, it might be a little bit longer on camera, but I never really take over 15 minutes unless I'm going to an event and I'm just taking my time. But usually when I do wear makeup, which is a couple times a week, I usually just do, you know, fill in my brows, put a little bit of concealer. Sometimes I do a little bit of foundation, and then again I'm just filling it in, not in every area, but just in the areas where it's sparse. I like more of a square shape for my brows. It's just my preference. So I just fill it in on the top and on the bottom, and then I use a spoolie to just blend it in. And the wonderful thing about makeup is, if you don't like the look, you can just use a makeup wipe to correct the areas that you don't like. Don't feel, some people are intimidated by makeup because they feel like, you know, I don't know what I'm doing. But that's what's the beauty of it. You just can play around in it. No, not too much pressure. So that was my brows. That's how I just pretty much do my brows. And then I'm going to show you how I clean it up with the concealer. This is that girl, the LA girl in Fawn. If you know, then you know. And so I just put some under the eyes. I'm just gonna go do some work from a local, you know, coffee shop. So it's not really much that I have to do today. I just like to, you know, put a little polish on, do that. And then I have a session with the kids later on to do prayer and Bible study. And I'm gonna just again do some work from a local coffee shop. So just gonna clean it up. I like to use this brush. And then just clean up under the eyebrows. And again, let's say you're like, well, Brandy, what if I, take a little bit of the eyebrow filling off that I just put in? Then you want to add some more. It's no pressure. Sometimes it can look more intimidating than it actually is. I just like to use my finger. It's freshly washed, and then I just go under the eyes, and I want to pat really lightly. Sometimes I use a brush. I find that the finger works well because I don't put a lot of heavy makeup. Like, I don't go over it with different shades. I just put it on there just so that it has a little bit of concealer. I put on my lashes off camera, so it's a little bit, the adhesive is a little bit sticking. So if you see me pulling my lash, that's why. And again, I'm just looking at the side mirror that I have. You can go be very gentle. Use the tip of your finger. And then that's just some concealer. We're almost done. I've been trying out the new e.l.f. And this is their soft glam. This is their satin foundation, and so I really loved their prior foundation. This one is, I guess, their alternative, because I found in stores, even like I went out of town to Louisiana and I still couldn't find it. So I'm believing that they discontinued the other one, which I think I have one here. It looked like this prior. This one was my ultimate favorite foundation, and it was only $6. This one, I believe it's the same price. It may be $7, but with this one, it doesn't give the same finishing effect. So with this one, but it still gets the job done. So I just gonna use a couple of dots, put it on my hand, so I can put it on my face, just a little bit on the forehead. What I do like about e.l.f.'s foundations are they're buildable. So you can, use it for a little bit of coverage, or you can build on it. I do like that. This consistency is not as thick as the other prior one. This is it. To me, it reminds me of like a BB cream. If you've ever used a BB cream, which is just foundation with a little bit of lotion added in there, is most formulas. So then I just take this brush, this e.l.f. brush that I used, and I just blend it in, pat it in. I don't do too much rubbing, but I always make sure I get my ear, and I always make sure I have my AirPod in on this side so I don't do too much. But where I drag a little bit is under the chin, just making sure my neck and my face matches. And then always make sure you go up to your hairline, making sure you're blending that out as well. So it will oxidize. So that means it'll get a little bit darker. I know it's a little bit different, but it'll get a little bit darker. Then this is where I want to go back through with my translucent powder, and I'm going to set it a little bit. I'm not gonna like bake and let it sit on there for a while, but I'm just gonna set the foundation and the concealer in place. I love to go over my eyebrow area because, again, my T-zone area is where it gets the most shiny, I would say. I wouldn't even consider it oily, but the most shiny. So I try to mattify that as much as I can in the process. I really do not touch up my makeup throughout the day. I know some people like touched it up. I don't touch it up because, again, I don't really have too much of an oily skin, and if it starts to get a little bit of sheen, it's fine to me. So there is that. Then I take a little bit of this mattifying finishing setting spray to give it a little bit of hydration. And then I'm going to take my Black Radiance pressing powder, and this is in the color Bronze. Yes, Bronze Glow. I'm just going to mattify again. And this, we're pretty much done with this simple makeup look. I'm going to contour just a little bit. Don't forget your chin. So I'm going to contour a little bit with that same brow color. I'm going to do it. You see, it's not too much. Just going to contour just a little bit of my nose and a little bit of my forehead. Okay, and I take back the same foundation brush and I just blend it out. No harsh lines. You just want to press. You don't want to drag. You want to just press into the skin. And make sure where you put the concealer, I'm at the contour color, you want to make sure you blend it out. So I blended it out. One of the last steps, the second to last step, I'm going to put a little bit of eyeshadow on for my blush. I love this beautiful palette. It's from Morphe, and it's the Heat Seekers one. I love this one. And so I usually use this like burnt orange color. If you could see, it's like used the most. I usually do that one, and I just do it right on my cheekbone. See? And I'm gonna apply it on there, and then I'm gonna blend it out. But you see? So I'm gonna take the brush that I use to be able to put my pressed powder on, and I'm just gonna fill that in that way. You want it to pop a little bit, but you don't want it to be harsh. The secret to makeup is blending. Blend, 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 blend. Okay. And then you see, and then I'm gonna put a little bit of highlighter, and then we're gonna be all set, and I will show you all how I veil, and then the video is going to be complete. So I'm just going to I usually use this color and this one to be able to do my highlighter. See that? I don't know if you all can see it in this lighting, but it shows up. You see that? It's so pretty. So with that, I blend it out with that same foundation one. And then with the nose contour, I'm just gonna do it with my finger. I'm gonna blend it with my finger. And that's it. And then I'm going to put the finishing spray of the All Nighter, and this is from Urban Decay, so it can stay in place. And then I'm going to fan it. My lashes are still sticking. And this is just the finished look. It's gonna dry matte, and it's gonna stay in place, and I'll even insert a clip afterwards on my page as like a quick reel for the after I work out and go through like the whole day, because I'm gonna keep it on until, you know, I come home and take a shower at the end of the day. So it'll be on for several hours, and I'll follow up. But yeah, this is my everyday, well, not every day, because I don't wear makeup every single day, but when I wear it, this is my quick makeup routine. Just sprayed some of my light body mist. and I'm going to veil my hair, and the video is complete. So that was 15-minute makeup exactly, and now I'm just gonna veil my hair. I just put my hair back in a slick bun, so it was just, many of you know I pixied my hair, so it's back in a bun. And it's already folded, the veil that I'm gonna use. I just put the veil on top of my head like this. I put it and I cross it in the back, and then I just twist it a little bit and go under, and I tuck it, and then just make sure it's tucked, and then go around the other side. You can twist it if you want to make it pretty. I just want it to be covered. And then you twist it, and it will stay like this. You just tuck it. I pray that was a good angle for you all, because I couldn't see it, but that's pretty much how the veiling goes. And again, it's just, it's not a hair complete cover up. It just goes on top of it, so it's not like, I mean, it's not a head cover up, it's just more so covering. It is a head covering, it's not a hair covering per se, right? So it doesn't have to cover the whole hair. So I just have it peeked out, and that's pretty much, this is it. This is how it looks. I believe veiling is so beautiful, and it's just what I feel led to be doing in this season. And so that is it. I'll put 2 hairpins on the sides just for like when I'm working out, and that's just the finished look of how my makeup and my veiling is today. You all have a blessed day. And you know, when it comes to beauty, you always want more, but make sure that internal beauty is the most beauty that's shining bright out of ourselves. And so know that I love you and God loves you so much more. Be blessed.